Leverage leadership is the ability to get maximum outcomes with limited resources, using a lever. I'll give you another quick example and then I'll get to your next question. I was just in Phoenix, Arizona, feels like, a couple of weeks ago, Dr. Reese Young. I was teaching leadership to 100 influential pastors across our connection. Been going to that mountaintop experience for more than 14 years. First time that I was teaching, and you all should be proud because in that room, I'm literally the only CME there. And for them to elevate me to that position of teacher in the room was humbling, to say the least. But while we were sitting out, one of my best buds, Matthew Watley, who's the senior pastor of Kingdom Fellowship AME Church in Calverton, Maryland, we were sitting out near the pool. And if you know the Phoenix weather, it can get hot in a New York second. So we're sitting there starting to bake. So it was an umbrella near me. Umbrella was down. I said, don't wait for the guy, the attendant to come. I'll just pull it up. I tried to pull it up with my hands. Was not able to do it. The attendant walked up. He says, I was like, I'm just trying to get it up, get the umbrella to work so we can get some shade. He says, sir, if you want this to work, you got to use the lever. The lever had the capacity, what my hands and my strength could not. Mm-hmm. It had the capacity to not only shade the area, but transform it so we can be cool. Leverage leadership has the capacity to change what seemingly is insurmountable, to transform your environment out of limited resources. Just a lever can change your outcome.
Yeah. You already about to start this thing, I see. So with that, how would you define leverage in the context of leadership?
It's based off of two definitions, I would say, as my basis. Many of you all are familiar with a voice in leadership by the name of Ronald Heifetz. And if you're not, you should be. 2004, I just finished my doctoral degree at Southern Methodist University, was burnt out of school, and Bishop Henry Milton Williamson Sr. said, hey, I got something for you to go to. And I was like, Bishop, I'm not going to nothing. And if you know Bishop Williamson, he don't know how to take no for an answer. Oh, no, you're our leader. You're our leader. So he signs me up and pays for me to go to Harvard University for a Summer Leadership Institute. Many of the leaders I see across the country now were in that class. The late Calvin Butts was one of our instructors. The famed Floyd Flake was one of our instructors. But the third person was Ronald Heifetz. And Ronald has this concept called adaptive leadership, which really, in a nutshell, you can read. It's a thick book, about 300 pages, but in a nutshell, what it is flexibility over control, right? Most leaders want to be in control, right? I'm the pastor. I'm the presiding elder, right? And don't challenge my leadership. Well, if you operate in that, you're already broken, right? So what Ronald Heifetz says is that you have to have flexibility over control, that you understand how to operate on an imperfect template, right? That the template is constantly changing, but you're adapting so that you can lead people with direction and an influence to a place that they don't want to go. All right. That's one side of it.
That's good.
The second side is, I heard, and I can't remember how many years ago this was, but the late Samuel DeWitt Proctor was speaking at a Community Renewal Society banquet at the time, pastor of Walls Memorial was Marvin Frank Thomas, who's our 62nd bishop, was in attendance. We were sitting across from him, and we heard from Dr. Proctor's mouth that leadership is the ability to deliver on relationships. Those two definitions became the quadrant, if you will, that produce what we have as leveraged leadership.
Thank you for that insightful answer. Many leaders operate with influence, but not all of them can create impact. What's the difference between influence and impact, and how can leaders ensure they achieve both?